This is the absolute easiest way to become a millionaire in 2025. And I know this because I've already done it. So if you're ready to become a millionaire, lock in with me for the next 15 minutes and let me show you exactly what you need to do. So the first thing we need to talk about is credit and Bitcoin, okay? Because since 2020, Bitcoin is up over 1,000%. And since 2020, the dollar is down 40%. Why am I telling you this? Well, we can borrow US dollars for free at 0% interest with business credit cards, and we can utilize that money to buy Bitcoin, which is hard money with a supply of 21 million. They're never making more of it, okay? Fiat currency, they print into infinity, and over time it goes to zero, and Bitcoin is the exact opposite. It's deflationary by nature. They're never making more of it. And every single year there is less and less supply. Okay. So we are going to leverage the dying system to purchase the new system that is going to make you very wealthy. And this is what I did in 2020. And it's how I became a multimillionaire. Okay. Now let's talk about the purchasing power of the US dollar, because I just want to give you a visualization of what happened since 2020. You see COVID right here. Boom. Look at this 40% drop in purchasing power since 2020. Okay. And what has Bitcoin done since 2020? Here's 2020 straight up in the air. One's going to nothing. One is going to millions. Okay. So knowing this information, what can I do as a regular dude? Well, we can borrow dollars in every way possible at the lowest interest rate possible, and we can push it to the longest term possible, right? Because these things don't happen overnight, right? This has been over a 5-year period, right? This has also been over a 5-year period. We want to delay our payback as much as possible while we let Bitcoin do the rest of the work, and all the money and all the value in the world gets sucked up into the Bitcoin black hole. Okay. So what I want to do in this video is I want to give you a free guide on how to get $100,000 of completely free money. Okay. I'm literally going to give you the playbook if you were starting from zero. Okay. So if you already have good credit, you can go ahead and skip most of these steps and just get to the good part. If you have no credit, I'm still going to show you how to get up to $100,000 of free money over the next year. So let's hop in. Okay. So first thing we need to do is we need to build out a good personal credit profile. Personal credit is the gateway to business credit. Without it, we cannot get approved for these super high limit 0% interest business cards. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to start to cheat your way in the system already by borrowing someone else's good credit profile. So if you have someone in your family that has a good credit card with a high limit, with perfect payment history, and with a long age, meaning it's been open for 10, 15, 20 years, then you want to become that person's best friend, right? You want to say, hey, Unc, I need a favor. I want to inherit your credit history because I want to buy Bitcoin and escape the debt slavery that we're all bound to end up in if we don't take action. And maybe you could teach him a little bit about Bitcoin and it'll happily help you out, right? So your Unc is going to add you as an AU. You're going to adopt his history. You're going to adopt his utilization and his credit age. And now, boom, you just literally cut the line to having good credit. Your score is going to be over a 700 and you're going to adopt his average age, okay? Now you can go right into a tier 1 bank like Chase instead of having to start at a shitty bank like Capital One or Discover, okay? Getting like a Discover secured card. We want to get right into the best bank, all right? So while you're doing that and you're letting that season on your profile, meaning just kind of marinate and sit there and collect some data for a little while, I want you to go ahead and set up an LLC, okay? I know LLCs might seem scary. They're actually really easy. You just need to go on a website like LegalZoom or InkFile. They do the entire process for you for a couple $100. Okay, very important. You want to start an LLC in a low-risk industry type. These are the industries that banks like to give a lot of money to because there's not a lot of risk. Consulting, marketing, and advertising, okay? Now, once you have your LLC, your EIN number, which you can get for free, and your articles of organization, which they'll send you once you complete your LLC, you're going to go ahead and you're going to do a bank run, okay? I like to call it a bank run because you're going to go to multiple banks in one day, and this is all how we're going to legally steal money, okay? So we're going to set up 3 bank appointments in your area. For me, I live in Florida, so I have access to Chase. I have access to Bank of America, and I have access to Wells Fargo, okay? If you're in a state that has U.S. Bank, I'd prefer to bank with U.S. Bank over Wells Fargo. So it really just depends on the state you're in. But you do want to have 3 of them, right? So find the top 3 tier 1 banks and go make bank account appointments with them and meet with a relationship manager, okay? You want to ask for a relationship manager. Those are the people that are the gateway to the most money, okay? Now, when you set up these bank appointments, it's very clear. I want you to set up 2 accounts with each bank. You want to set up a personal checking and a business checking with Chase, Bank of America, U.S. Bank. Okay, now you want to season these bank accounts. For the best results, you want to put $5,000 in each personal account and $20,000 in each checking account. I know this is probably where you're leaving angry comments like, bro, I don't have money. You don't need to have this much money. This is for best results, right? People that are already responsible, people that are already making moves and want to capitalize on this opportunity. I'm telling you right now how to get the best results. Okay, so this is what I do. All right. I put at least $20K in each business checking. Don't worry. It doesn't need to stay there. As soon as we're approved for the card, we can move the money out and put it in the next bank where we want to access value from. Okay. So those are your first 3 steps. Once you have that done, we're going to go over to Chase, right? You're going to go and apply for a Freedom Unlimited card. This is going to be your first credit card, beginner card. Okay. It's going to give you amazing points value. You get a 20,000 point sign up bonus, 0% for 15 months, and you're going to use this bad boy for 91 days. Okay. This is going to give you enough sufficient history so that you can go ahead and get approved for your second card. What you do not do is apply for the second card before the 91 days. You will get denied. Okay, there's a very specific reason why it is exactly 91 days. We have thousands of data points from my program, Credit Class, where I'm helping thousands of entrepreneurs access millions of dollars of 0% capital. I've been doing this for 6 years. So if you want to work with me directly and you want me to help you do this and hold your hand, you can go ahead and just click the link down below in the description to apply for our exclusive program. Now, back to the main show. You're going to use this for 91 days. After the 91 days, make sure this card is paid off in full, and you want to be paying this card off as often as possible. Then you're going to hop into the second card. This is an intermediate card, okay? This is the United Mileage Plus, and this is going to give you a free check bag, club lounge access, 60,000 sign-up points, and it's going to give you a higher limit, right? On card 1, you probably got 1 to 3K. On card 2, you probably got 3 to 6K. You want to use this as your primary card from here on out. Okay, keep some kind of subscription or use this card every once in a while just to keep it open, because if you do have inactivity, they will shut down the card. Okay, after you've used the second card for 91 days, we are going to make sure it's fully paid off, make sure both of these are reporting 0 balance on our credit file, on our FICO. You can find this on Identity IQ or Experian. Then we're going to apply for the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Okay, this is an advanced card with Chase. They give minimum $10,000 limits approved, and that is very crucial for getting big business credit limits, okay? Now, we're going to use this one for 91 days, and this also has incredible benefits. You're going to get 3x points on food and travel, 60,000 sign-up bonus, and you get to transfer all of these points to all the different transfer partners, which allow you to get 5 to 10x the value on your points. If you want to hear more about that, make sure you subscribe and go check back in my channel, because I make videos on how to travel the world for free as well. Okay, next, we are going to apply for a different bank. Notice how we just hit 3 cards at Chase. The reason we did that is because Chase is the best bank in America. Okay, it is a #1 tier 1 bank. It holds the most weight when we're applying for business cards. They look at your personal credit. They go, wow, this guy's stacked up at Chase. He's got a bunch of accounts there. He's got money there. He's got, pretty big credit limits. I'm going to trust this guy. Okay, so that's why we do all 3 at Chase. Okay. Now, I want you to go ahead and get another personal card. If you're really trying to maximize the 0% on the business side and you want more than 100K, you want to make sure you get these extra 2 cards. This is going to help significantly when we go and apply for the business credit cards at U.S. Bank and Bank of America. Okay, so U.S. Bank, you're going to get your first card with them. It's a limited 2% cash back. You're going to use this for 91 days. Make sure you're still using these cards in some fashion to keep them open. After that, you're going to go into Bank of America, and you're going to get this one right here. You're going to use that for 91 days. Now, we have an absolutely stacked personal credit file. We have great cards from all the tier 1 banks. Okay. And it's a bonus if you have 1 to 3 or more of the following accounts. If you have any mortgages, great. Keep them open and keep paying them on time. Personal loans, amazing. Pledge loans, perfect. Car loans, that's going to help your file. And student loans, do not pay them off. Just continue paying the monthly payments and keep them active and current. And that's going to boost your score significantly. Okay, the more accounts, the better. Whoever told you to close a credit account has no idea what they're talking about, because now you lose all the history. So keep all these open for the rest of your life. And as long as you keep your personal credit file looking clean, paid off on time, make sure you have your auto pay on set 3 days before the statement date, you are set for life now. You completed credit. Now you can go and fund as many businesses as you want and access millions of dollars of credit over your lifetime, all because you did the groundwork and created this beautiful foundation like I just showed you how, okay? Now, before we get into business credit, I want to give you a little pre-business credit checklist, and you can refer back to this video for the rest of your life and make sure that you have all this stuff done before you hit submit on the application. That way you never get denied, okay? So first step, utilization. For best results, I'm just going to cover best results because why wouldn't you want the best results? You want to have less than 10% on each card. For me personally, I just pay off all my cards to 0, and I always show a 0 balance. Number of primary credit cards. We want to have best results, 5 or more. Okay, collective limits. This is very important. You can actually go too high on personal credit limits, and that will take away from the amount that you're approved on the business side. So you want to have 40 to 80K. That's kind of the sweet spot right there. Okay, I have about 70K, and I don't think I need more than that. And I always get really good approvals of 50K or more on my business credit cards. Okay, hard inquiries, very important. You want to have no more than 2 inquiries in the last 6 months. If you don't know how to wipe your hard inquiries, you should get in my program, because my students are using the exact framework that I use every single time to get their inquiries removed in 24 hours or less. Okay, credit mix. You want to have a very nice diverse account between credit cards, personal loans, student loans, mortgages, car loans. The wider mix, the better. Okay, the more trustworthy you're going to appear to the lender. Average age. This is really easy to fix. If you don't have good age, just add an authorized user. Make sure you're showing over 5 years of average age. Make sure you turn your fraud alerts off. If you've ever done credit repair before, you probably have fraud alerts on, and that will prevent you from getting automatic approvals, which you definitely need if you want to get a massive credit sequence done. Okay? So yeah, do not apply for any cards before your file looks like this. Now, moving on to the fun stuff, okay? This is how we're going to access $100,000 or more in 0% business credit, which means this is not attached to your personal file. It does not affect your personal score. They are not checking your tax returns, your income. They're not even looking at your business, okay? They're literally just approving you based off what I just taught you how to do, all right? So here we go. The first step is we want to apply for an Amex business card, okay? The reason why I like Amex so much is because once we have one hard inquiry with them, they only pull internally. So we can get one hard inquiry to get this Amex business platinum card. And then for these other 2 business cards right here, they are not going to pull anything, because once we're in the system, we're good. So what I would do is I would apply for the Amex business platinum, use that for a couple weeks. 31 days is fine. Pay that thing off, and then you can go ahead and apply for these 2 cards. You want to do one at a time. Apply for the Business Plus first. Once you're approved, you can go ahead and apply for the second one, the Business Cash. Now, my student just got approved $35,000 at 0% on this Business Plus card, and his file isn't that significant. It's not even as good as the one I just showed you. So Amex is giving incredible limits. Now, one of the main things you need to focus on your applications is this, okay? You want to always say you're employed. By saying you're employed, you're less risky, right? If you're an entrepreneur and you own a business, you're employed by your business, okay? Be optimistic with your estimated revenue and your monthly spend. If you tell them you're only going to make $98K for the year, they're not going to give you a lot of money, right? Be optimistic. They're not checking any financials. This is all just this is all just projections, right? There's no verified income here. So you want to start a business, you want to make $1 million, you got to be optimistic, and they're going to give you more money. And if you're going to make a lot of money, you have to spend a lot of money. So when they ask about your monthly spend, you want to boost those numbers up. Okay. Also, more employees, the better, right? The more employees, the more money you're going to need to scale that business. Okay. Now, once you've applied for these 3 cards, it's time to hit Chase. Chase, you want to apply with an RM at the bank, okay? Now, there's a new update with RMs. You have to be doing over $1 million in projected revenue, or else they will not allow you to apply with an RM directly in person. So just know, if you go to Chase Bank and you try to apply for a card and you don't say $1 million, you will not be tapped in with an RM. So make sure you understand that, okay? RMs are going to get you the biggest limits, right? When I apply with an RM, I got $50,000 at 0%. When I applied on my own for my first card, I got $15K, okay? So massive difference. Now, you want to apply for the Business Unlimited first. This is 0% for 12 months. Then when you're approved, you apply for the Business Cash Card. Okay, after you've done this, you're going to have about 3 inquiries. So it's very important that you wipe the inquiries off before we go to the other tier 1 banks, right? Because we always want to have under 2 inquiries. It's very important to know that these inquiries can be removed once you're approved because they are not attached to an open personal account. These are business cards. They're completely separate, and they're not going to show up on your FICO score. Okay, so once we've wiped our inquiries, and if you need help doing this, go ahead and apply for credit class down below. We show our students exactly step-by-step with the exact templates, numbers to call, how to do it, and you can just copy us, okay? Once you've got these removed, now we're going to tap in with Bank of America and U.S. Bank, okay? Bank of America, we can get up to 2 cards in 30 days. So once we're approved for this one, we're going to go ahead and apply for the second one. Then for U.S. Bank, we can get as well 2 cards in 30 days. And these are 12 months at 0%. These are 9 months at 0%. Okay, if you want more credit cards after that, right, and you're going to want that because with, the Bitcoin method I'm about to show you, once again, you want to float your investment as long as possible. You want the dollar to keep dying while your Bitcoin continues to go up. And for that to happen, you need as much time as you can possibly get. Okay, so it's very important to always wipe your inquiries so we can apply for another business credit round whenever the time permits. Okay, now that we have, $100,000, how can we multiply it? Well, here's the game plan that I've personally been using for the past 5 years that has made me millions of dollars, okay? Once you have 100K at 0%, you can purchase up to 3 Bitcoin miners. Now, why are we talking about miners? Well, miners you can purchase directly with credit. Whereas if you're trying to purchase Bitcoin on Coinbase or Kraken, you'd have to liquidate the cash off of the card, which could trigger a cash advance, which is going to trigger like a 15% fee, or you're going to have to pay some firm like 6 to 7% to get the money off for you. So you're going to lose a bunch of money, right? With miners, you can pay directly with the credit card, and now you have miners generating you Bitcoin. And the most important part, you get 100% tax write-off. Right? We're trying to save as much money as possible while we build our wealth, okay? So I like to kill 2 birds with 1 stone and mine Bitcoin instead of buy on the exchange. And right now at this specific point in time, you're getting a discount by mining Bitcoin because mining 1 Bitcoin only costs about 90K, whereas the price of Bitcoin right now is like 118K. So we're going to buy miners, and over the next 4 years, those miners can mine you up to 1 full Bitcoin. All you have to do is nothing. Just hold the Bitcoin for the next 5 to 10 years, and you will become a millionaire, okay? Bitcoin will be $1 million over the next 10 years, okay? You can come back to this video in 10 years, and I promise you I will be correct, okay? That's how confident I am. You can then become your own bank, right? You can borrow against your Bitcoin to buy more assets, or you can use that money to pay expenses. Bitcoin appreciates at 30 to 50% a year on average, so you can refinance those debts yearly to pay off the old loan. In the future, you'll be able to take out home mortgages against your Bitcoin, right? You won't even have to do a credit check. You could just show your Bitcoin wallet to the bank, and they will hold one of the keys, and you'll hold another key so they can't rehypothecate your Bitcoin, and they will lend you millions of dollars for your home, okay? That is coming as well. So if this fires you up, I bet it does. I know it's very exciting, and the dollar's collapsing at a rapid pace. So you do want to escape from the system and quote unquote the matrix. So if you do need help accessing hundreds of thousands of dollars at 0% in capital from the best banks in the USA, and you want to deploy that capital directly in the Bitcoin miners, then you can apply for credit class with the link down below and buy miners directly through my company, Leverage Mining. We have almost 100 investors that we've been managing since 2022, and we've saved people millions of dollars in taxes And we allow for our clients to pay directly with credit, right? We've almost processed $1 million over the past 2.5 years with credit cards, okay? This is all 0% money going directly into Bitcoin, okay? We are literally taking the dying dollar and we're converting it into the hardest money of all time for our clients like Robert, Mike, and Tom. And last year alone, we helped our clients save $2.3 million in write-offs, and this year we're on track to double that. Okay, and if you need help getting capital, that is why I've created my program Credit Class that literally holds your hand, gives you a customized game plan that shows you exactly how to optimize your file and then apply for the correct cards in the right order. We show you what to put on the applications, and we have an absolutely buzzing community of like-minded individuals that are going to be there with you the entire way, helping you amongst your journey. So if you are ready and you're teachable and you can follow simple instructions, then I really would love to help you access 50 to 100K at 0% interest so that you can deploy it into Bitcoin or other assets like your business. Okay, so if you're ready to work with me and get access to step-by-step custom game plan, then all you need to do is click the link down below and apply. Okay, I don't just work with anyone. It's a very exclusive program. You do have to qualify. We work with very specific people that can also bring value to the table. Okay, if you enjoyed this video and you think this could help someone, please share this with a friend or family member. Make sure you smash the subscribe button because I'm going to be dropping more videos on how we can short the US dollar and buy Bitcoin. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.